So we all know Midjourney is awesome, and they did not disappoint. What's going on, everyone? Paul Donis Maximus here. Thanks for checking out the AI Filmmaking Advantage, where here we talk about how to make and monetize AI filmmaking. For the Midjourney enthusiasts out there like myself, can you imagine any and everything that you've ever generated in Midjourney can now be animated? Well, almost everything, and we'll get into that. But for the most part, your entire back catalog of AI generations, mine going back to 2023, you can literally roll to the image, press a few buttons, and bring it to life. And 99% of the time, you don't even need a prompt, and 98% of the time, it'll actually do what you had in mind. And if you haven't guessed it already, we're talking about Midjourney Video. They finally released it, and like literally when that Discord notification hit my phone, and I went to the Discord and saw that this video thing was released, I started playing with it immediately. And I can honestly say I didn't know what to expect. I saw some of the examples out there during my downtime. Some of you may have noticed I've been away from the channel for a while. One being because in May I took an actual real vacation and had no intentions whatsoever doing anything with YouTube, and I was gone for a pretty long time. And secondly, I've been experimenting with a lot of other tools lately, and literally I've been diving into this stuff and losing track of time because that's all I had been doing for like the last couple of weeks. Everything led to a different rabbit hole, and since I'm a nerd, I naturally eat that stuff up. I want my AI filmmaking experience to be as limitless as possible, and to do that you really have to look at other models that would be able to deliver exactly what you're looking for. But we'll get into more of that in another video. Now what I want to do is look at this post that Midjourney posted to their website, and I'm not going to play the video because the last time I did something like that I got hit with a copyright strike, and I was like, wait a minute, I've got epidemic sound, how did I get hit with a copyright strike? But it turns out the music in the video was copyrighted, and then that's what triggered it. And actually what I'm going to do is just take myself off camera so that I'm not blocking any of the text or anything like that. And then also sometimes when the videos are playing on the screen and then I'm on the screen at the same time, there tends to be lag in the video. And even though I've got fiber internet, I still want to be on the safe side. So let's do that. So guys, you definitely should go and read this article on your own, but I'm going to highlight some of the very important points to how to use Midjourney Video. There's a lot of flowery stuff in here, but it's still a good read. So let's jump right here. They say, today we're taking a next step forward. We're releasing version 1 of our video model to the entire community. And guys, this is a damn good version 1. Like, I'm scared to see what version 2 is going to look like. Here's the other important point. Our goal is to give you something fun, easy, beautiful, and affordable so that everyone can explore. We think we've struck a solid balance, though many of you will feel a need to upgrade at least one tier for more fast minutes. And guys, honestly, when I'm in Midjourney, I only use fast mode, and I hadn't used Midjourney in a little under a month. I did a little bit when I was on vacation. I still had a lot of hours. I believe I had 14 when I logged in. I'm down to 4, and I'm on the mid-tier plan, so I'm probably going to upgrade to that $60 plan after I burn through all my fast hours, because I believe if you upgrade, you lose those and they just put you on the next tier. So I'm just going to burn through them first and then upgrade to the $60 plan so that I can get 30 fast minutes or fast hours to make more stuff, because I'm having so much fun with the new model. It says today's video workflow will be called image to video. This means that you still make images in Midjourney as normal, but now you can press animate to make them move. And they're talking very basic to people who don't really know anything about AI. That's what I noticed a little bit about this post itself. I think they ran it through AI and said, hey, make this read like a 5th grader or an 8th grader. It says there's a high motion and low motion setting, but we'll go through all that as I go through the actual tool itself. But what's very important is this. They say we are also letting you animate images uploaded from outside of Midjourney. But you have to know if you're trying to do something crazy, you're probably going to get in trouble, because they say we ask that you please use these technologies responsibly, properly utilized. It's not just fun. It can also be really useful or even profound to make old and new worlds suddenly alive. And that's what I was talking about earlier, being able to go back through your entire catalog and start animating things right in Midjourney. Now here's something that's also very important. They say the actual cost to produce these models and the prices we charge for them are challenging to predict. We're going to do our best to give you access right now, and then over the next month, as we watch everyone use the technology or possibly entirely run out of servers, we'll adjust everything to ensure that we're operating a sustainable business. So what that reads to me is that they probably do plan to raise the price in the near future. And definitely when this version 2 comes after this version 1 that we've got. And finally, they do have a relaxed mode for pro subscribers and higher. In the past, generating images with Midjourney on relaxed mode just took forever. So I ended up just buying more fast hours. But that's something to keep in mind for those of you who want a semi-unlimited experience. Okay guys, let me show you my workflow just so that it steps you step by step through how I go through this entire process. It's just going to be much easier than trying to explain everything, every little detail. But before I forget, I do want to mention that I do have my personalization turned on, and you see that right now by default, and they mentioned that in the announcement, your V7 profile is the default now, and if you want the previous models, you actually have to go and select them. I don't know how to do that actually, because I'm fine with my V7 global profile, and I actually need to go rate more images so that I tune it even further. And as far as I know, there's no such thing as over tuning it. Someone that I've actually purchased a Midjourney course from said he's ranked over 1,000 images. And speaking of Midjourney course, if you want to get your images looking as stunning as possible, especially with some of the examples that you're going to see in this video today, then be sure to check out the AI Cinematographer's Midjourney Playbook, where I teach you how to direct AI like a pro. Because check this out guys, if you remember the cinematic prompting structure that I gave you, all of the work is already done for you in the prompt itself. Now there have been some instances where I've just done a simple prompt like camera slow pull out or camera slow pan up. In one of the settings where it's manual, I found that the prompt actually loads into the box up here, and then I'm like, well hell, it's already got the camera direction and everything in it, let me just hit the button. And since I teach you that cinematic structure in the AI Cinematographer's Midjourney Playbook, you're more than likely using it, and so now all you have to do is just go and have fun with this. And if you're not a student, just so you know, the price is going to go up very soon. So if I were you, if you want this training because Midjourney is just going to keep getting better and better, then scan the QR code on your screen or go below this video, click the link, and enroll today while it's still cheap. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to find an image, and what I'm going to do is show you my process. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to see if something like this will go through, because this is another thing that you need to be aware of that I'll show you in screenshots. And maybe I'll do it toward the end of the video, but the thing is, some images, even though you've run them in Midjourney, depending on how they look, and I've mostly been finding it with any images that have women in bikinis, it's not going to run. And you'll get this message. They'll even tell you, even though the prompt that you put in is not crazy, we don't know about this image. And again, what I said is these are images that I've generated on Midjourney. I'll show you all of that. I'll try to remember. Anyway, let's do something. Let's go ahead and run through this workflow. And this is the image that I want to animate. You see it's already got the prompt in here. Again, this is my cinematic prompting structure that you can find in the AI Cinematographer's Midjourney Playbook. You can find examples in the Airtable database, and there's a step-by-step guide in how this all breaks down in the Notion workbook. Again, link is in the description. But what we're going to do is this, and actually I may not use this image because I've already upscaled it, and this is what I'm going to show you guys. All right, here's something. Let's see if this goes through. This was generated on Midjourney, as you can see clearly, and what I'm going to do is walk you through the process, and we'll see if it actually goes through. So I've already got the prompt. I'm not going to explain how I did the prompt, and what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to upscale the image subtly and upscale the image creatively. I think it looks very good like this. I actually could download this and take it into my Topaz Video AI or Topaz Bloom and probably make it even more eye appealing, but we're just going to work within the Midjourney structure because it's just going to make the process a lot faster. But again, as Midjourney said, you can import images into Midjourney as long as it's not anything crazy. So I'm going to click upscale subtle, upscale creative, and then I'm going to wait for those to process. Okay, these have now processed, and sometimes creative looks better than subtle, and then sometimes subtle just lands perfectly. So let's check it out. So this is a subtle upscale. That's a creative upscale. I don't like what it did with the faces, so I'm going to go with the subtle upscale. Now, this is where it gets very fun. Over here, you have the Animate button. They've got Animate Auto, and let's see what that says. Create a video starting from this image, low motion, create a video from this image with a low amount of motion, high motion, create a video from this image with a high amount of motion. But the cool thing is you don't have to come up with a prompt for this. So I'm going to just click this button right here, and I'll show you the difference between this and manual. So I'm going to click low motion, it's going to do its thing, and I'm going to click high motion, and it's going to do its thing. Now, when you do the manual thing, it says create a video starting from this image with a prompt describing the motion. And again, as I said, if you look at that prompt up there, it's already got everything in there. So you can do a couple of things. You can run it without the prompt and then let it decide, or you can run it with the prompt. And so I'm just, so I don't waste a lot of credits, I'm going to do this. The prompt loads in, and you have to make sure that you click the submit button or hit enter, because otherwise it won't do it. So that's that. And then sometimes I've found that if you try to just automatically do this and then hit enter, it gets kind of stuck. And so you just have to refresh your page. But again, guys, just as you kind of guessed, one generation is going to have low amount of motion from the image and the characters itself. And then high motion has the opposite. And as we can see so far, this is generating. I don't know how it's going to turn out, because down here you can already see, like, I don't know what the hell happened there, but generally the generations have been good. I've been doing this one on the fly with you guys just to show you the process and just so that you get an idea of how it looks. And we don't actually know what the end result is going to look like, and we still have to see if it's actually going to run completely. Okay, you guys can see that the image came back to how it was, but you saw how it was looking as it was generating. I was like, what the heck is going on? It's interesting that they're showing us the thinking process behind the model. Like, we're actually watching the AI model think, the same way you can look at thinking models with LLMs like O3, Perplexity AI, and Gemini. Oh, and look, here we go. Sorry, while the prompt you entered was deemed safe, the generated image may fall outside of community guidelines. No fast hours will be charged. So again, guys, I'm glad we went ahead and got it right here. You see that they are very wishy-washy with this. They may let it go through, they may not. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these look like. But one of the things I want to show you is this. If you hover your mouse over here, you can see that it shows all of them at one time. Oh, okay, I see what happens. Now it changes to where, okay, she's got something on under there. I was concerned there. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on there? So let me stop doing that in case in case YouTube starts tripping. But anyway, you can hover your mouse over the image and you can get a preview of them all at the exact same time. Let's see what happened here. So these look a little bit more safe. So that's this bunch, and some of them are kind of crazy. But here's the thing, if you don't like any of those, you can always just re-roll the video and I'll show you that. But another cool thing they've got is they've got extend auto and extend manual. And actually, I don't believe I've tried the extend feature yet. Let me try it on one of these videos. So let's see, I'll look at doing something like this. And where's that extend button? So it doesn't show up on this side. What you have to do is exit out of this and click it right here. So I'm going to do auto because I really don't know what I want to happen. And these are the ones that ran on auto, and I believe this is the one that's manual motion high, or I think it's auto motion high. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I remember one of them fell out. So this was motion low manual, motion high manual. This is motion low or motion high automatic. Actually, this one was motion high automatic, but it failed. And this one was motion low automatic or something like that. Maybe I clicked the button too many times. I don't know. And this is what it looks like with the extend feature enabled on auto. And they all seem to be doing the exact same movement. And I don't know if that's every time you do the extend feature. I think I did maybe use it once, but I didn't like the way it turned out. And one last thing, I'm going to show you an example of me importing an image from some of my experimenting, but we're going to do a low motion automatic. I'm just going to hit this, see what it comes up with. And I'm also going to do this where it loads it again, and then this drops down, and I'm going to do high. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll see. And again, this is one of those instances where, you press the button, nothing happens. So you have to put your thing in the cursor, hit the enter button. Or if it doesn't do that, you have to hit the refresh button, do it again, do this, high, and enter, and then there it goes. And it's always good to do a hard refresh, and I'm actually using an incognito browser. And if you're on the Mac, it's Shift Command R. I don't know what it is on a PC because I only use PC for work. And they both failed. And there's nothing crazy going on with that image itself. And this is what the image looks like, in fact. I mean, it's pretty tame, but again, Midjourney picks and chooses what it likes to let through. But the good thing is they don't charge you for the fast hours, and as long as you're not doing anything crazy, they're not going to hit you up and be like, yo dude, we're about to suspend your account because you are wilding out. Now here's an example of something that did go through, and the cool thing about this is I did not upscale the image because, again, I was like, well, I don't want to spend all of this time on it if it's not even going to be able to load in Midjourney. And again, I didn't upscale the image and it didn't look that good. I just, again, wanted to test it out, and Midjourney made it look even better. Like, I mean, you can see the examples on your screen, and this looks like the retro look that I was going for. And I also got concerned because Sister Girl here is very thick, but these worked out as well. So again, you know, I wouldn't come to Midjourney trying to do anything too crazy. And, you know, as long as you're not putting any funky prompts in there, and maybe if there's just not too much skin showing, you might be all right. So again, that's really all I wanted to show you guys. I know this probably went a little bit long, but I wanted to give you the entire process front to back so that you can start playing with this. And again, the very cool thing about all of this is you can go through your entire back catalog, which is what I'm going to be doing. Even though I've run some of these things at Kling or Runway or upscaled them in FreePic or even used them with Higgsfield AI, I'm still going to run them in Midjourney because they look exactly how I want them to look. And this also means that you don't have to use LoRa's, guys. You can use the SREFs, which I'm going to be building out that section now that they released the other day that the new SREFs library thingy is out. I just have to go through and see how all of that works and then update the Notion guide with that. But you can do version 7, you can do your version 6 stuff, and I think I go all the way back to what, version 4? Like, I've been on Midjourney since at least the latter part of 2023, but I don't think I'll be going back that far. But one of the things you can do, you can rerun your prompts. But honestly, if you're going to rerun the prompts, make sure that you switch it to the version 7 model, because I reran some prompts earlier and they were still version 6.1. I just assumed that the system would have updated it to that, but it did not. And again, just note that personalization is on by default. So if you start creating new images, you're going to be under both personalization and version 7. And if you want something earlier than that, you're going to have to switch it up here with this drop down menu. And I didn't create any new images, but anytime I create my Midjourney images, I'm always using the raw mode. Let me go ahead and flip that on just in case I forget. And you also want your stuff to be in landscape mode. But the thing that I like about Midjourney is that it doesn't matter what the aspect ratio is, it still will animate it. But I don't believe you can do any kind of generative stretching to the sides unless you take it into the editor and then do that to the image itself if you want it to be 16:9, for instance, and then animate it after that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this update. Hopefully you're going to get started with this tool. If you got any value out of this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like these type of updates and are looking forward to more in the future. So once again, my name is Paul Adonis Maximus. Thanks for checking out this video. Please join me in the next one.